easier than we remember lists of things. So I'd like to tell a story. So stories are always better told sitting down, right? So when I was a little girl, I lived with my mom and my brother and sister, and my younger brother and sister, and my mother's boyfriend, who came into our life when I was 12. And he was let's say he was a very interesting man. He had a very colorful past. He had his main job that he had worked with for many years. He was a killer. He worked for the mafia, and his job was to kill people. So they called him hitman. He was a hitman, mafia hitman. And he left the mafia, which it's not easy to do, and he was, then he became a petty criminal, let's say, or petty criminal, con man, and he was actually very good sometimes when he was in a state of clear-headedness. But he also had an alcohol problem and a drug problem. His favorite pick-me-upper was vodka and amphetamines. So, but he was brilliant in many ways, and he really did his best. And I'm very glad that I had the experience that I did living with him. I learned a lot, but oftentimes we had no food in the house because sometimes his get-rich-quick schemes didn't work out. And there was nothing to eat, sometimes for days. But my brother and sister and I tried to be very resourceful. And we had a mother who was very optimistic. And she always told us, don't worry, everything will work out. God will take care of everything, it will work out. Just this is a momentary phase. We'll get through it. And she was my mom, so I believed her. And so what my brother and sister and I would do often is we'd go into the kitchen cabinet and we'd bring out the condiments that were there. Salt, pepper, cinnamon, stuff like that. And we'd sit down and we'd say, what do you want for dinner tonight? My brother might say, French fries. So we put the salt on our hand, and then we lick the salt, and we go, oh, those French fries are so good. Yeah, give me some more French fries. And so we could do this with the condiments. But my sister would say, I want some French toast. And she'd put cinnamon on her hand. We'd all put cinnamon, and we'd lick the cinnamon, and we actually became quite satisfied with our virtual meals. And from that experience, I learned how important imagination is, how important your state of mind is when you're doing anything that you're doing. And I think that's what led me to liking to dress up. And the cover of the cookbook is kind of a Mad Hatter tea party, having some fun with things. Because life, yes, we should pay attention to the parts of life that have to do with building the foundation and having enough to eat and having a good home and taking care of each other and our family. But it's a shame to take the fun and the joy and the whimsicalness out of those seemingly everyday things. That we can always put some fun and some whimsicalness back in. And it only takes just using our imagination. So I would hope that when you eat the food from the recipes from the book, that you would have fun with those recipes and create beautiful dinner parties, even if the dinner party is just for yourself, for your imaginary friends. And never fall into the trap of just compulsively like stuffing your mouth or opening the refrigerator and if you're hungry and just sort of like taking some stuff out. But instead, make an art of it. Have fun with it. Make it a ritual. Invite the joy into your life. It's always there. It's always there. But like all good things tend to be quite polite. And they won't interfere unless we invite them or call upon them. Just like angelic beings. You have to invite them into your life. You have to invite God into your life. A lot of people think, oh, there is no God. There are no such thing as angels. Or even some people think there's no such thing as fairies. It's sad for those people, because they've forgotten that all they have to do is invite God, invite angels, invite fairies, and then the fairies will be there, and the angels will be there, and God will be there. You know the story of Radha and Krishna. Radha, who is Krishna's beloved, Krishna's darling, her name, Radha, means the one who called out. The one who called out. And she called to God with such intensity, with such passion, with such imagination, with such creativity, that God could not resist that. She made God appear in her life. She made God appear in her life. And even to this day, we are singing of her magical skills. Because these are magical skills. The ability to change a situation, a difficult situation, into a happier situation, a more creative situation, a more fun situation, a more peaceful situation, a more beautiful situation. Magic means a shift in perception. And it takes imagination to make magic. And so never think that the world is out there coming at you. Whatever you want, it's right in here. And you can let it out and make the world however you want to see it, however you want to be in it. Yes, it may be challenging. And there may be some really difficult obstacles. You know, it doesn't just happen like that, usually, for most of us. You have to work on it. Tanji says in the Yoga Sutra, Abhyasa Vairagya. Abhyasa means practice. And abhyasa, asa. Practice means you sit with something for a long period of time. You don't just try it and then it didn't work, you throw it out. It takes time, often, for magic to arise in our life. For us to remember our own magical skills. For us to remember happiness. For us to remember all the amazing blessings that we have been given. It takes time. And then we have to have vairagya. We have to have dispassion. Meaning we have to not be so concerned about getting the results right away. We have to leave those results to God and have faith in God. Have faith in the goodness of our eternal souls, the Atma. And how we cultivate that kind of faith, whenever we experience, even from the smallest little smidgen of negativity to full-blown, depression and hardship and difficulty. So whatever negativity comes into our life, we've got to summon up our magical skills and turn it around with everything that we have. We have to employ everything that we have. And then we will remember who we really are. And as Shandas said in the recording that we played tonight, our greatest wealth is the remembrance of our true identity. It's the most precious thing we have. So always have faith in the goodness of your eternal soul. Difficulties will come. Difficulties will come. Let go. Don't get discouraged if the results don't come as quick as you might like them. You must have patience, abhyasa. You must sit with it for as long as it takes. So I'd like to take any questions or comments or anything you'd like to share. The mic is open.
Check. Yeah, Sharon, question. Gee, why even say Virabhadrasana if you're going to say one, people? Why not say Virabhadrasana Eka or Dwi? Why did that happen? Thank you very much, Sharon.
It's a hard one. Why say Virabhadrasana one?
Yes. Sanskrit and then English. Why not just say Virabhadrasana Eka? Virabhadrasana.
Okay. I get it. Okay. I don't know. You have the answer.
Yeah. Some people don't know Sanskrit.
Some people don't know Sanskrit. Virabhadrasana, that's pretty Sanskrit.
I mean,
That's
if
pretty
you're one
Sanskrit.
and the person that doesn't know.
So, I think, okay, can I venture to guess? I don't really know the answer, but speculation. We're working with more than one language here. I mean, most of us speak English in this room, anyway, in America. Many of us in America speak other languages as well. French, Spanish, German, Japanese, Chinese. And there are many languages on the planet. And it is true with people you find who speak more than one language. Sometimes they fall in and out other words. I mean, look at our English language. It has many words from French language, and many French words are in our English language. And many Sanskrit words are in our English language. Like off. Awesome. Yeah. Some means same, like. So I don't know if it's such a bad thing. I kind of like this idea. You know what this idea is? Belong. And you mix it up in the pot, homogenize it, stir it up, stir things together, blend them. That's yoga, isn't it? When things come together, they find their togetherness, and they're not so, this is Sanskrit, this is English over here, we'll have the French people over here, we'll have the Japanese over here. All like this. I think that's kind of nice. I like that kind of eclectic coming together. I don't know. That's my speculation.
I would say,
But she's saying something very important, I feel.
I only want to say that you go to another country, they do not say one. They say whatever language is being spoken in that country. And anywhere you go, Israel, France, they always speak the language of that country.
Any other questions, comments? And while we're talking, please, you can continue to eat. That's permissible. Or drink. Please, get up and mill about and come back. It's all fine. Lay down, take a nap. I'm really fine with it. You did. Is there any other questions? Yes. Please come up to the walking stick.
This is the talking stick.
You can take it home. Stand up.
Wow! Thank you. Hama, is there a fixed quantity of prana in the body? Or is there the chance to greatly increase prana in the body? And if so, how do we do that?
Oh, wow. That's a very tall order. Where's she said? Is there a fixed quantity of prana in the body? Or are there ways to increase prana in the body? Ah, wow. Prana means life force. So I think look, I'm not an expert, but I can speculate on some ideas and just share some ideas that this is like open for anybody to speculate, I think. We have these instruments, these physical bodies. And the physical body is animated by prana. Meaning that when prana exits the body no longer is alive. Dead body there, not a living body. So the prana animates the physical body. It animates the physical body by means there has to be receptors in the body for the prana to hook up with, to be activated by. And as you get older, or if there's sickness or negative emotions are like toxins, like poison. then it closes down the receptors in the body for prana. And then, I mean, you know this to be true. Sometimes you'll see a friend that you haven't seen in a long time, and they've been going through some very difficult times, maybe emotional traumas or physical traumas, and they just don't look as alive. They don't look so alive. They don't have so much vitality. Yes? You've seen this? Okay. And that's because the receptors in their body are not being activated by the prana. The prana is trying, perhaps. So there are ways that we can increase the amount of prana, and those ways are inviting, okay, who is the source of all prana? God. Prana comes from God. Prana comes from the eternal Atman. Prana comes from that which is eternal, whose nature is joy. We call it God. We call it, people call it all kinds of things. But the point is, it exists. So, to align with the source, can't go wrong there. But instead, if you're aligning with your sadness, with your anger, or reinforcing stuff like I'm tired, I'm sick, I'm overwhelmed, then you yourself are saying, I'm closing off. I'm closing off to the source of vitality. Woe is me. And that's what happens because we live, for better or for worse, and no judgment here, just an observation. We live in a culture which has created within our society a whole society of victims. Like, it's almost like it's a habit we get into, seeing ourselves as a victim of a disease, a victim of abuse, a victim of unkindness, unfairness, whatever. And it becomes quite natural to play that part and to wear the clothes of that victim. And there's so much reinforcement in our culture for that. And a victim, an enlightened being, never the twain shall meet. They cancel each other out. You cannot be a victim and an enlightened being at the same time. You cannot be an enlightened being and a victim. Enlightened being means filled with the presence of God, filled with the remembrance of God, filled with joy, filled with the knowledge of the oneness of being. So we can decide. And it happens. The negativity creeps in on us in ways that most of the time we are totally unaware of because we have created such habits. So it can be just very simple things like where you're with your friend and you start saying, oh, for instance, well, how was your day? You say, well, it would have been great, but, the guy at work who was supposed to do this, he said he forgot to do it, and so then I had to do it, and then I couldn't do this, and then, I didn't get to eat lunch, or, it goes on and on and on. I mean, little things like that. To bigger things like blaming the president or blaming your parents or blaming your 5th grade teacher or, you know, I don't know. Blaming. Blame, you know, I think was Hafiz, the great mystic poet, said, blame makes the sad world go round. So you gotta let go of blame to bring the happiness into the world. And, you know, I mean, come on, we've all done stuff. We've all created karmas that we might be ashamed of or we wish we didn't do, but we did it. So what to do now? What to do now with that stuff that comes back to us and we are having to deal with difficult things? You accept it and you let it go right through you. And the more you can let it go, the quicker it will pass. You know, it's really silly to get upset about a difficult thing that's happening in your life. Why is it silly? Because you made it happen. You wrote the script. Yeah, we forgot maybe, but we wrote the script. So play your part and finish the play, and then get off the stage. You know, and pick up another script and play another part. These are karmic things. Try to be as happy as you can, cheerful, graceful. And always think the best is yet to come.
We have time for one more question.
Yeah, please,
Please,
come.
Tracy.
Come.
Okay, I want to tell a little short story to
Yeah.
lead into a
Do
question.
the microphone.
Okay. Hi,
For our benefit.
I'm Tracy and I'm scared of microphones.
No, take it off, there's a sugar.
Okay, stand up.
We want to see you.
Hi. Okay, so I used to be a massage therapist in New York City. And I once massaged a woman who had just come from a workshop with you.
A workshop.
With you.
Okay.
At Djibouti, and she was really pissed off. She had come and she was like, I have no idea how much money, and we went, and all she talked about was being a vegetarian, and I was so mad, and she was really mad. And I had never repeated since I was like 14, so I was like, right on, that's awesome. Which I did not say to my client. I thought it was like so brave to talk to people that way, and I feel like I'm still scared to talk to people about what is a very sensitive subject, about not eating meat, about, you know, eating differently and its effect on the world. And I still feel really apprehensive, you know, 8 years into teaching, to even bring it up with my students that this is important. So how do you, I don't know, how do you bring that up with people and not care if you and not care if you piss them off, or not be so concerned with their reception of it?
I think you should be concerned with how they receive the teaching. Thank you for that. But you do your best, and then what more can you do? I mean, I don't ever intend to piss people off when I talk about it. No, seriously, I don't.
Yeah.
I consider myself a yoga teacher, and I take my job seriously as a yoga teacher. I'm teaching people how to do this. yoga,
She was never doing that.
how to connect to eternal happiness, how to experience joy. And I know, without a doubt, that happiness and joy cannot come to anyone if you cause unhappiness to others. So this is a very intrinsic part of yogic teachings. And I feel that it would do a disservice to students who come to me with a sincere desire to learn yoga, not to provide them with those teachings about veganism, about how animals are treated, and how, if we ourselves want to be happy and free, we can't condone that. You know, all of the great steps in consciousness didn't come easy. I mean, it wasn't that long ago that in the United States of America, black people were kept as slaves. And not just kept as slaves, but viewed as not human, as animals. And that prejudice was very, very prevalent, and people wrote editorials in newspapers defending their right to have that opinion. And but now we're ashamed of that. We're ashamed of that. And we're trying to find a better way to live. There was a time, not so long ago, when women were thought of as less than men. They were just the property. A woman was just the property of their husband or their father. They had no rights, no say, were not considered intelligent. They were only here to breed, to produce babies, and to clean house, and to service the men in whatever way the man wanted. We don't think like that anymore. Most of us don't think like that anymore. That's a huge shift in perception. That's a huge step in consciousness and awareness. Nonviolence, ahimsa, has been around for a very long time. Jivamukti Yoga didn't make it up. It's a foundation principle in all of the spiritual traditions, and most all, to my knowledge, of the religions on the planet. But extending ahimsa to include other animals and the earth, that's new, that's radical. And I'm very proud to be among the Jivamukti community who are the leaders in bringing that awareness into the consciousness at this time. This is a historical event, a historical event. And Patanjali says in the Yoga Sutra that one's prejudice is the biggest obstacle to one's enlightenment. So, I think prejudice, it's difficult to address it, but as a yoga teacher, if we go by the book, Patanjali's Yoga Sutra, we need to address it. We need to address all types of prejudices. That is part of yoga. It's not like oh, they're the classroom. Actually not. It's actually quite yogic if you really want to go deep into the study of the philosophy of yoga. So, what to say? Yeah, it's hard. But I don't think you want to have the intention of pissing people off or making people angry when they come to your class. And so you got to get your intention correct. But then what to do if they come away and they're mad? You can't control everything. Right.
Thank you.
Oh, he has a hand raised, yes.
I just want to add a couple of comments to Tracy and the other woman that spoke. When you're dealing with, because I'm vegan, I've been for 2 years. And,
Can you talk in the microphone so we can all hear you?
Yeah. Well, you know, like I said, I'm a vegan for I've been vegan for 2 years, and definitely, it's hard trying to, I know where you're at, like, for as peeing people off, but people want to feel how they feel regardless. The best thing you can do is just be the change, meaning like you be the example, your actions speak, and people are going to see that, and believe it or not, even though it seems like at the moment that they're not paying attention, when they go on in these secret spots, they go to thinking, like, I mean, like right now, just like teachers were speaking, we are actually in a paradigm shift. So it's not coincidence that all of us going into vegetarian and plant-based, because that's what the Earth's shifting. Her vibrations are shifting higher. So we have to shift with her as well, and that includes with eating more of her, because scientifically we are light beings, meaning that we have 7 major chakras. So the more plants that we eat, the more that our chakras begin to, brighten more, and we begin to get more in tune with the Most High and nature and etc. Okay? As far as the parent, how you pronounce it? Prana? I'm sorry. Yeah, I know the Chinese call it chi.
Prana.
Prana. Right. So a great way to enhance your prana is qigong. Like, I don't know if you ever heard of qigong. Yoga as well is great for it. Tai chi, meditation, of course. Or you can go in nature. Go in nature. What I like to do is I go to a tree. Nature's full of it. Go to the oldest tree. I like to go to City Park, matter of fact. It has a lot of old trees filled with a lot of life force energy. You just go to the tree as if this is the tree. You inhale. You exhale. What you're doing is you're actually circulating the energy. Thank you very much. You're actually circulating. You're giving the tree. It's like an exchange. That's pretty much that. I just wanted to give him a piece on that.
Thank you so much for being so patient and just giving yourself a
Please grab another snack if you'd like. We're going to start lining up for the book signing, so grab your books and make your way over here. For now, we'll just start the line right where this gate is. Not gate, but I don't know what that is. I'm making a gate. Yes, and the line is going to go straight towards the mural. So from Nancy Lanassa, Jivamukti teacher from 1980. 1984? Yeah, 1902. 1902.